Hi, what's going on, everybody? This is Dave Scott here. Hope everybody's doing well. Just wanted to take a few minutes of your time. Wanted to make a little vlog video, a little update to the channel. I didn't post for a few weeks there, and I wanted to update you guys on what all was going on. So, I titled this video about me meeting Skillet. And that's true, that did happen. I'll get to that in just a second, but I want to take the time first to plug. If you guys follow the channel, you'll know I have a band. The band's called Short Term Silence. If you're not subscribed to the channel is down in the description, along with our newest song called The Runaway. It's the second single off the debut album. And if you guys did hear Leaving Me, which was the first song, you haven't heard the song, you need to go check it out because it's heavier, it's more energetic, and if your head stays still throughout that entire song, you need to go to the doctor. Something's physically wrong with you. Yeah, anyways, that was also the, that song had also been in the works for pretty much the exact same time as, the exact amount of time as Leaving Me was. So, F and I are both really proud to go ahead and get that song out too. So we now have two lead-off singles for the record. Remember, the record drops November 15th. That'll be released on YouTube and on Bandcamp. We've got all the links in the description if you guys want to support us. It would mean the absolute world. I've got that song linked down in the description as well. Just like I did with Leaving Me, I'm asking you guys just to give a chance for that song, even if it's not your preferred type of genre. And just please give it a listen for me, for your favorite Dave. That is if you don't have another Dave in your life. But obviously I'm your favorite Dave. Like, that other Dave, he's just not as good. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, so I wanted to plug that to you guys. Also wanted to give a shout out to my brother over at Patty S Music. He did an awesome review of the song. I came to him because they're like getting a professional review done of your music. Basically, that's hard. I mean, you gotta hire people on Fiverr or something of the like, unless you know somebody. And my dude actually is really good at making these song reviews. So I'm gonna link his channel in the description as well. He's also got a great voice. He's got a voice that's a hell of a lot better than mine. So yeah, go ahead and show him some love. He did an awesome review of the song. Go ahead and watch that. Watch and listen to my song, then watch his review of my song, then watch his other stuff. So yeah, just wanted to take the time to thank him for doing that. That meant a lot, and it had me smiling the whole way through. So, brother, if you listen, appreciate you, and I hope you'll do it for the whole album when it comes out too. Okay, as far as me meeting Skillet, so yes, I did meet Skillet. I'll throw the picture up on the screen. It is my second time meeting them. I met them back in June of 2017 on the Unleashed tour. That was my first ever concert as well, which was absolutely amazing. And that experience in itself was really good. That was at Center Stage in Atlanta, Georgia. That was a 17-song set. I had the VIP passes, and it just meant the absolute world to me. It was just amazing, but as if like you could top that experience in that night, it literally is what happened during the daytime. Unfortunately, the day was cut short, and I'll get to that in a second. But let's talk about how the day went first. So we got there. This was in Richmond, Virginia, at the Virginia Credit Union Live. I think it's an amphitheater. And they were playing Victorious War with Devour the Day, Pop Evil, and Seven Dust. And I had bought the most expensive VIP package for this. I think it was upwards of about $300. And it was labeled Intimate Skillet VIP. So, mind you, back in 2017, my VIP experience with them, they were already in front of the banner. If you guys have ever seen photos of Skillet VIP, or if you've even met them before, you'll know they stand in front of a big banner with just says it's a big Skillet banner, and you take a photo and you get a few seconds to talk to them. Granted, it's a lot better than what most conventions do. Most conventions for photo ops will throw you in and out with barely a chance to say two words to the people. And back in 2017, I was very satisfied with the way that it went. It was an amazing time, but I had no idea. I didn't really know what intimate meant. Well, I know the definition of the word intimate, but I didn't really know what their definition of it was. I hadn't done it before. I wasn't really even expecting anything more than what I got 2 years ago. Oh my gosh, I was absolutely blown away with how they did. Their tour manager Kyle came and got us. I was one of, I kid you not, 6 people that bought this package. That's how intimate it was. It was really expensive, but I would do it again in a heartbeat if I had the money and if I had the opportunity to. So they brought a whole whopping 6 of us down to kind of the pit area to where the stage was. There was nobody there, so there was just a big empty open space. That's where they had the banner set up. But Kyle brought all of them out before we took the pictures, and we kind of just stood across from each other and just had I probably spent like a good 3 to 5 minutes just talking with all of them. It was so relaxed, it was insane. Obviously I wasn't relaxed, I was shaking like crazy, but the whole experience, it wasn't rushed. And Kyle even said as we were walking down there, he's basically saying, look, I know that the rules said no autographs and stuff like that. It was for the photo, but if you guys have something that you want them to autograph, feel free to go ahead and do it. Now, I didn't specifically have something that I wanted them to autograph, but if you guys know me at all, you know that my favorite song is just of any song ever is "Whispers in the Dark." That's what my tattoo is. You guys can see it right there. It's a depiction of Tears to Roses with the song title above it in a script font. And that song was the first Skillet song I ever heard, and it's what led me to them, and I really don't know what I would do without them, how these past few years would have been. So the song means the world to me, so I had the idea that I wanted to get John to write a lyric from the song for a tattoo. And I came to the conclusion that I wanted him to write "You'll Never Be Alone." Obviously, the second line of the chorus of "Whispers in the Dark." I have had this idea for the longest time. The exact words have changed on what I've wanted a few times. I decided on "You'll Never Be Alone" here recently. But it was something that I was wanting when I met them back in 2017, but they were the security was so strict on, the rules and the guidelines, I had no chance to do it. Now, granted, they probably would have if I had really asked. I mean, I don't think they would have rejected me, but I was too scared to try. So I even ran the idea by Kyle this time around when he was talking about getting autographs, and I mean, they brought them out, and John was first up to me. It was so cool because I was second in line that they were talking to people from, so John came to me first after talking to one dude. He was joking around, he was laughing with the one dude, but as soon as he came to me and I started talking to him, and he could tell like the sincerity and the seriousness in my voice, my God, I have never seen somebody just drop all of what they're thinking and just give me their full undivided attention like John did right there. It was incredible. And through all of my I wasn't insanely nervous because I'd met them before, but I mean, still, this was me meeting my heroes, basically. I ended up telling them everything that I wanted to, just how much they meant to me, that 2019 really hasn't been a very good year, but just to have them to always be around, and I specifically said to always hear "You'll Never Be Alone" whenever I need to hear it. It means the absolute world. He shook my hand for a really long time, and he was, as I was telling this, he was like, "Thank you, brother." And it made me smile from ear to ear, and I ran the idea by him of him writing that lyric down, and he was glad to do it. It just was insane. I couldn't believe just how smooth everything, how perfect this whole experience was going. He loved the tattoo. He absolutely loved it. And he signed his signature after he wrote it. I took a picture of the cards, the piece of paper that I wrote them on, so I'll throw that on the screen as well, so you can see he wrote that specifically for me right in front of me. So I mean, words cannot express how much I love that man. The amount of things he's done for me, whether he knows them or not. I tried to tell him as many as I could without talking his ear off. I'm so grateful to him on so many levels. He is the sole reason I am a bass player. He's the sole reason, really, why music connected with me. I mean, I literally listened to nothing but Skillet for probably a good half of a year before somebody snapped in my mind that Skillet doesn't just listen to themselves either. So I was like, oh, I probably should listen to other bands. But I mean, they were just crazily impactful in getting me into music, and now it's my passion in life. It's what I feel that I'm called to do, and I'll never be able to thank them enough for it. So John was just absolutely amazing. I asked him if I could hug him too, and we got to hug each other, and it was such a powerful moment, and I am always going to be so grateful for it, and I'm going to always cherish it. He ended up moving on after we were done to the person next to me, and Corey came. I basically told her the same thing about the tattoo. She loved the tattoo. All four of them loved the tattoo, which made me so happy. I gave Corey a hug too, and we talked about the new songs that we're going to play that night. And my experience with her was a little shorter. She moved on to the next person, and Jen came in front of me. And again, I kind of repeated the same spiel about the tattoo. I think out of all four of them, she was the one that loved the tattoo the most. And I told her just how much that all of them had meant to me. She caught me off guard because I went into this only expecting to ask John to write something down for me, but she ended up offering to sign something for me, or if I wanted anything. So I had like a moment's notice to scramble in my mind to figure out, okay, think of a lyric and think of her, like, to write it down. Think of something she sings so you can get a tattoo of her handwriting too. So I was trying to process everything, and I thought, not gonna die. Last thing I heard, whispering goodbye, flat, like, oh no, don't write that. I eventually ended up with thinking of Awake, so I got her to write Stand My Ground and Never Back Down. And she signed it too, so that was amazing. I got to hug her too, and her and Seth kind of talked to me at the same time. I got more of her attention, and then I was able to talk a little bit to Seth on the side. Shook his hand. He was awesome, just like the rest of them. It was an amazing experience, and it was literally, I mean, I cannot exaggerate enough how everything I wanted to happen in those few minutes just happened. There was nothing wrong with that. It was the perfect experience. I will be forever grateful to all four of them. So that was earlier in the day. I also got a picture with Tate, if you guys follow me on Instagram. Then you can see that I got a picture with Tate as well. He was at the merch booth, and he was cool as always. And so after that, we went out, and I ended up being second in line for the entire show to get into the venue. This was standing room only, barricade, general admission. So it was a race to see who could get the barricade first. I really wanted the barricade, and I made it happen. I got the exact spot that I wanted. I was second to actually even enter the venue, and I grabbed my place and I held there, and the show was gonna start. So Divine of the Day came on first. I love those guys. I first heard them on that same show from 2017. They opened on the Unleashed tour. Oh, they're freaking awesome dudes, and I love their new album Signals. I love Time and Pressure. Was so excited to see them. They played 5 songs. Awesome performance. Pop Evil came out next. I know Trenches by Pop Evil is my favorite song, and I know 1 or 2 other ones by them. They played 8, and I actually even caught their set list at the end. They were cool. They were really good. Seven Dust came out. Seven Dust was the one, don't crucify me if you're a big Seven Dust fan. Seven Dust was the one that I was kind of looking forward to the least. I just don't know much of them, and that's completely fine. But they played, I think they ended up playing about 13 songs. It was co-headlined, so Skillet and Seven Dust, I think, played the same amount, or were meant to play the same amount, I should say. They ended up playing, it felt like forever, and they were good. They were really good. They had a slow song called Angel Sung, too, that I really liked. And so they ended up finally finishing, and it was finally time for Skillet to play. I hadn't even looked at the set list, so I was ready to be surprised on all the new theatrics of the new tour, the new album cycle. And they came out to Invincible, like they do. It was awesome. I had been rocking with my, I had my right arm in the air the whole time. So my arm was really tired. My arm actually cramped up during Invincible. So I was rocking with my left arm, and I was trying to move my right arm to get it to stop at the same time. That was kind of funny. But they played Invincible, nothing out of the ordinary. Not Gonna Die ended up being second, which was a little strange. Not Gonna Die hasn't even been close to the start of the set list for years and years, but it was good, it was great, and as soon as they stopped Not Gonna Die, was when John grabbed the microphone and said that they were having to shut down. And my heart fell to my foot. Actually, for a second, I was just really confused at what was going on. But we were in Richmond, and just a little bit north of us, there was some weather going on. I was there with my dad. He was looking at the weather, and it was pretty much all north of us, and we were getting kind of like the backlash from it. And they deemed the concert not safe to continue with because of lightning. So they put everything on hold. They told everybody to go to their cars for safety. Legitimately, that amphitheater was huge, and the roof was insanely huge. It's my belief that that concert would have gone off without a hitch had they let it continue. I obviously can't predict the future, but that's what I believe. I didn't believe the weather to be very bad at all. But they covered everything up. They put tarps over the drums and the amps and everything else on stage. They waited about 5 minutes before Scotty went across the stage and basically called it off to the security guards, told them they were going to pack up, and it was too risky. They couldn't risk it. So I ended the night with only hearing 2 out of what was supposed to be a 13-song set from Skillet. With 5 new songs. And yeah, that really put a damper on my mood. I was real upset about it, but at the same time, thinking about what I got earlier in the day, and like I was saying before, how perfect that experience was, there's just no way I can be mad about it, man. It was something that was out of my control, and it's obviously not going to be my last Skillet concert. As soon as they come back, you best believe I'm going right back to it, and I'm getting my makeup concert. But just trying to think about, what I got early in the day and being grateful for that. I just really hated that I ended a day where I got to meet my heroes and talk with them in such an amazing just situation. I hated that I ended the day that happened like frustrated and upset, because that just felt wrong. I mean, that was one of the absolute coolest things that has ever happened to me, getting to do that. I was just incredible. And I went to sleep that night feeling disappointed, which made no sense to me. So it just really bummed me out. But, hey, like I said, I can't predict what would have happened had they continued. If something did happen, that would have been just absolutely horrible. So respect to everybody for trying to keep it safe. They've got protocol on what to do with the weather. I do hope they make some announcement about the show. I don't think they will, because it's been a week now and I haven't heard anything about it. And Skillet is booked up pretty much till the end of the year. They finish this tour, and then they go on tour with Alter Bridge, then they go over to Europe. So I don't think I'll be seeing them again anytime in the near future. But holding out hope for 2020 Skillet concert in its entirety. Just glad everybody was safe. And while it does bum me out, like I said, I'm staying true to taking away what actually I got in that experience, which was just the time of my life talking with 4 people who mean the absolute world to me. So that's my experience. That's how I went to a canceled Skillet concert. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed me talking. I figured I just wanted to make a little quick update video. We hadn't done a lot. Go check out the Victorious cover too if you haven't. I posted that last night. Thanks for all the reception on that. It's been really good. I always appreciate your kind comments. Be sure to go check out my new single. Let me know what you think about it. Drop me a nice comment there, and or constructively criticize it, or just tell me that you freaking love it, man. Anyways, that's it for now, guys. Hope everybody's doing well. I'll be hitting you up with some new covers soon, and until then, peace out.